Breaking news, and for the first time, only NBC4 captured this video as the girlfriend of the Las Vegas shooter, Stephen Paddock, landed at LAX tonight. NBC4's Adriana Rambulo live at LAX right now, where Mary Lou Danley, a person of interest in this case, is now in custody. Adrian.
Well, Colleen, we've been standing watch here for Danley at the Tom Bradley terminal at LAX for hours. We're told that the FBI accompanied her on a flight from the Philippines back here to LAX, and that flight arrived right around 7:30 tonight. Now, most of those passengers, about 99% of the passengers who go through customs, then exit and walk up this ramp before they can get to the area where the ground transportation is. It was right before 8 o'clock tonight that NBC4 photojournalist Sean Browning, we believe, is the only journalist in the country who captured images of Danley arriving here at LAX, and we want you to take a closer look at that video right now. You can see Danley in the wheelchair. She is being escorted by two uniformed officers, one in front, one in the back, plus the person pushing the wheelchair. Sources tell NBC News the 62-year-old left the capital of the Philippines, Manila, on Philippine Airlines Tuesday night Manila time. Now, this is the only look so far that anyone has gotten of Danley since she arrived here in the U.S. tonight. We have multiple crews here, and we have not seen her since. Now, I want to show you another piece of video. Today, the Las Vegas sheriff reiterated that Danley, described as the girlfriend of the Las Vegas shooter, Stephen Paddock, is still a person of interest in this case. Sources tell NBC News that Paddock wired $100,000 to the Philippines before the massacre, and that money was for Danley and her family to build a house. They want to talk with her to figure out if she might have known about Paddock's plan to kill and injure hundreds of people at that concert in Las Vegas. The two reportedly started dating in the spring, lived in Mesquite, Nevada, about an hour and a half from Las Vegas. Now, News Chopper 4, we have video of this, flew over LAX and the jet, the Philippine Airlines jet that Mary Lou Danley was on tonight when she landed at Tom Bradley again right around 7:30 this evening. We have been told that Danley has been cooperative with authorities. However, any information she might have about Paddock might unlock the motive about this massacre that occurred in Las Vegas. If we see her tonight, of course, we'll certainly let you know. But we also have been told that certain people connected with high-profile cases can be taken away out of this terminal through a different exit other than this one. But again, if we see her, we'll let you know. Reporting live at LAX tonight, Adriana Rambulo, NBC4 News.
All right, Adrian, again, we want to reiterate Danley is being questioned by the FBI. Now, we have a team of reporters in Las Vegas and across Southern California uncovering new information on the victims and the heroes who stepped up and saved lives. First, my co-anchor, Chuck Henry, is in Las Vegas. Chuck.
Thank you, Colleen. More details are emerging now about the investigation, and we have a lot of new developments to tell you about tonight, including dramatic police body cam video that was released today. It shows the chaos, the moments after the gunman opened fire. We're also learning some new details about what was inside that gunman's hotel room.
You guys, get down! Go that way! Get out of here! There's gunshots coming from over there!
Tonight, for the first time, the police perspective during the shooting, captured by body cameras.
The suspect, I can tell you that we know now that he fired off and on for somewhere between 9 and 11 minutes.
That gunfire sending 22,000 people running for their lives as officers ran into the fire. Stephen Paddock had amassed an arsenal of weapons.
Currently, 47 firearms have been recovered. These firearms were recovered from 3 different locations.
This assault rifle is one of 23 weapons Paddock had in his hotel room. And investigators now discovering the intricacies of his planning, like this carefully placed service cart in the hallway.
There were 2 cameras located in the hallway so that the suspect could watch as law enforcement or security approached his room. And there was another camera placed inside the hotel room door peephole.
The death count adjusted.
58 plus the shooter for a total of 59.
Las Vegas officials say they continue to hear stories of heroism, including one of their own.
Even though Officer Hartfield was at the concert as a civilian, he immediately took action to save lives. He ultimately gave his life protecting others.
That man, Officer Hartfield, was an 11-year veteran of the force, and he leaves behind a wife and 2 children. He's a man who served with honor, and he died with honor. Now I want to bring in Robert Kovacic. Now, Robert, you've told me, and Robert is known, as our viewers know, for a lot of powerful interviews, but you were telling me before we came on the air tonight that this is perhaps the most powerful you've ever conducted.
It's the impact, Chuck. You realize when you talk to the man you're going to meet just how deep the emotional wounds are, just as deep as the physical scars, and this is going to take some time for people to recover. We met Travis Phippen at the invitation of Los Angeles Fire Department chaplains, who encouraged us to go there and talk to him. The grieving process, the chaplains explained, is a long one. Survivors need to let it out. They need to talk it out. Here now is the story of what happened to Travis Phippen and his father when they traveled from Santa Clarita to the music festival.
We were there Friday, Saturday, and unfortunately Sunday night.
John Phippen and son Travis, a 24-year-old paramedic, in Vegas together.
Then all of a sudden, pop, 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 pop. My dad and I jumped on these girls that were in front of us, and I started crawling towards people that were wounded. I started taking off people's belts and using them as tourniquets, and he was covering this girl, and he got shot. I got over there as fast as I could, and I put my arm around him, and that's when I got shot.
An LA County Sheriff's deputy and a firefighter, both off duty, jumping to help.
This firefighter tried to pick him up, and he couldn't do it, and so someone found a wheelbarrow.
They push 56-year-old Phippen in the wheelbarrow to safety before finding a ride to the hospital.
He told me that he loved me, and he wanted everybody to know how much he loved them, and he wanted me to tell them that. And that was the last thing he said to me.
The father of 5 died in the arms of his son.
He gave his life for somebody he didn't even know.
LAFD chaplain Roger Fobel offering comfort and counsel.
None of this was your fault. Your dad was in great hands with you.
Tried helping everybody I could.
Travis Phippen tried to save his dad and so many others.
I'm not the only hero. Everyone is. Everyone is. I'm not the only one. Everyone helped.
If you want to help that large Phippen family, Chuck, you can just go to our website or our app, NBC LA, and learn more. Travis is here in Las Vegas, staying with relatives just released from the hospital. He says when his father is released from the morgue, he will bring him home.
Well, he was shot. The bullet is still in the arm. Why?
The bullet is still in his arm. This is the type of person Travis is. This EMT told doctors at the hospital, leave the bullet in my arm. I will have surgery later.
Oh my gosh.
Take care right now of those who need it most.
Wow. Incredible story. Thank you, Robert Kovacic. We also have tonight NBC4's John Katis-Klimak. He continues our team coverage. And John just spoke with the daughter of a shooting survivor who has also an emotional message now for the men who saved her mother. John?
Yeah, Chuck, her mother's name is Diane Hill, and if that sounds familiar to any of our viewers at home, it's because she's the owner and operator of a popular place up in Lake Arrowhead known as Diane's Saddleback Inn and Grill. So a lot of people may remember who she is. She was here this weekend with some friends, with her daughter. It was supposed to be a getaway weekend. It turned into an unimaginable nightmare.
I just knew that she was hurt.
Taylor Hill was at the Harvest Festival this weekend, but left Sunday afternoon before it ended. Her mom, Diane, stayed with friends.
I just had the most horrific images and the most, your imagination can run wild with these things.
But back home in Banning, she couldn't get any confirmation about what had happened. Only a call from a friend saying her mom had been shot.
No one knew where my mom was. No one had any ID. Most victims were John Doe's and Jane Doe's.
She headed back to Vegas. It wasn't until noon Monday when she found out her mom had survived, and soon Taylor would learn of the heroics it took to save her.
She was hit, and it inserted her cheek and shattered her jaw, which she just had surgery with, and it was a success. 2 men came and tried to assess what was happening, but another man came up and just scooped her up, and she said, ow, to that over-the-shoulder swing, which is typical mom.
Tonight, she's hoping those 3 men are watching. She wants to meet them, to hug them, and to thank them.
I'm so thankful because I know that many aren't as privileged or as lucky, because my entire group survived and my mom's alive and she's doing well.
And you heard from her daughter there. Diane underwent surgery today. She is doing much better, but she's got her jaw wired shut. And doctors also say she has some shrapnel in her back, and they haven't decided yet whether it's worth the risk to remove it. Reporting live outside Sunrise Hospital here in Las Vegas, I'm John Katis-Klimak, NBC4 News.
All right, John Caddy's Climax, Chuck Henry in Las Vegas. We'll get back to you in just a couple of minutes. Right now, we have confirmed 27 people from Southern California. Among those killed in Las Vegas, almost half of all of those who lost their lives. Now, in addition to the 15 names and faces we've been showing you, tonight we have the other victims. Michelle Vu recently moved to L.A. Christiana Duarte grew up in Torrance, 22 years old, who just started working for the L.A. Kings. Brian Fraser lived in La Palma. Lisa Patterson, a mother of 3 from Lomita, at the concert with close girlfriends. Jordan Rivera from Laverne. Candace Bowers. Chris Hazelcombe from Camarillo. Andrea Castillo from Huntington Beach. Melissa Ramirez, who is from Little Rock, California, attended Cal State Bakersfield. Austin Davis, who's a welder from Riverside. Laura Shipp from Thousand Oaks. And Nicole Camora from Placentia. Carrie Galvin was at the Country Music Festival with her husband and a group of good friends. NBC4's Jane Yamamoto live right now in Thousand Oaks, where she's been talking with her husband. Jane?
And Colleen, her husband, emotionally exhausted tonight, and so is her younger sister. But they are speaking out because they want everyone to know what an amazing woman she was. 31-year-old Carrie Galvan was a loving mom to 3 young children.
Amazing, super mom is what, you can best describe her as.
An older sister to Lindsay.
She's my best friend in the whole world.
And dedicated wife to her husband, Justin, who took her to Vegas for a weekend getaway.
Just enjoy ourselves and go to a concert.
The concert, Route 91 Harvest Festival. They were about 100 yards from the stage when the gunman started firing.
Jason Aldean ran off the stage and everyone started running away and we hit the floor. And I didn't notice right away and she got shot in the head. So I started CPR right away. And I did everything I could.
She died in her husband's arms. The former Marine who survived Iraq stayed with her the whole time and also helped people next to him.
There's a guy with a gunshot to through his abdomen.
He tried desperately to save his wife, but she didn't make it. And her younger sister sees Carrie in the children and wants to keep her spirit alive in them.
At this point, we kind of take it day by day.
And Justin says he is finding strength through family and friends, but they're still having a difficult time paying for funeral costs. And they have set up a GoFundMe page. We have that information on our website. Live in Thousand Oaks, Jane Yamamoto, NBC4 News.
Courage in the middle of chaos. You'll hear from a Riverside College student whose heroics during the Las Vegas shooting saved the life of a friend.
And faith and hope emerging amid tragedy. I'm Hetty Chang. Coming up, we'll show you who's stepping in to help.
The NBC4 Live Doppler network is showing a huge rise in temperatures, maybe 20 degrees and dry, and raising the fire danger. All the information about that straight ahead.
Let's switch back live to Chuck Henry. He's been tracking the very latest developments in Las Vegas, including covering some stories about victims and survivors there. Chuck.
So many powerful stories. We're hearing about another one, a story of true heroism of one friend who saved the life of another right in the middle of the chaos of this concert. Destiny Albers of Riverside says that she was standing next to her friend Jessica when the shots first rang out. Now, Albers says she could feel a shot strike her friend, and then in a split second, there came that decision. UC Riverside student decided to drag her injured friend to safety.
The second round of shots were going off, and then I could feel the shot hit my friend Jessica, and it went through her whole body. As soon as I felt that shot go through her, I was like, I'm not leaving her. She's getting out of here alive. I don't care what it takes. I'm getting her out alive. And I did.
And there is more. A stranger in a pickup truck drove the girls to the hospital, and that's where Jessica is right now, and she is recovering. NBC4's Hetty Chang now continues our team coverage tonight. She just spoke with 2 detectives who just returned home after helping victims of Hurricane Harvey. They're now here in Las Vegas as they provide comfort to those in need. Hetty?
Chuck, that's right. Those 2 Long Beach police officers are part of a traveling group of chaplains. They are certainly used to responding to crime scenes, but nothing quite like this. This memorial, just steps from the crime scene, is their first stop of the night. Among the somber faces and the tears, chaplains from the Billy Graham Rapid Response Team providing comfort and support.
Basically, wherever people need help, need hope.
Long Beach detective Eric Hubbard normally wears a police badge. Tonight in Las Vegas, he's answering a different call of duty.
Our ultimate goal is just to share the gospel of Jesus Christ with them, because that's where their hope is found, and that's where comfort comes from.
More than a dozen law enforcement officers were either injured or killed Sunday. They are among the hundreds of victims whose loved ones are searching for ways to heal.
Rather than answering the question why, we just want to be there just to comfort them and just to take their mind off what occurred.
I'm told those two officers and the team will be here in Las Vegas offering their services at least until tomorrow. Live from the Las Vegas Strip, Hetty Chang, NBC4 News.
All right, Hetty Chang in Las Vegas along with Chuck Henry. We'll check back in with Chuck in just a couple of minutes. Country music star Jason Aldean, who was on stage when the shooting started, is canceling all his shows for Los Angeles, Anaheim, and San Diego this week. His camp says the cancellations out of respect for the victims. He plans to resume his tour on October 12th in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Now, amid the tragedy, we are hearing some extraordinary stories of heroism. Jonathan Smith from Buena Park at the concert with 9 family members when the shooting started. He escaped, but as NBC4's Christine Kim explains, he actually went right back into the venue to rescue others.
Jonathan Smith still wears his wristband from the Route 91 Music Festival.
This is my memorial for everybody that, lost their lives.
The 30-year-old alive after the bullet that struck him in the neck barely missed his artery.
By the time I got to the hospital, the off-duty officer that was able to stop the bleeding actually saved my life. I didn't realize at the time, but he actually stuck his finger inside and basically stopped it. If not, I probably would have bled out.
Today, he spoke to his hero on the phone.
I told him, I said, you know what? I owe you my life.
But others may tell Jonathan the very same thing. That officer learned he survived the attack when his story of courage went viral. Sunday, he escaped the venue under a hail of bullets. Jonathan ran right back in and was shot as he guided more strangers to safety.
I don't need to be thanked. Just to know that someone is still alive is all that matters to me.
The father of 3 won't call himself a hero, saying it's what anyone would do.
It just goes to show that, it doesn't matter your race or whatever. A human's life is more valuable than you hating them for their skin color. And I think that night we've seen it a lot.
Christine Kim, NBC4 News.
We have a fairly strong change in the weather pattern right now. We're going to a dry, warm offshore flow. Think of a Santa Ana wind, but without the gusty winds. But it will be dry and temperatures as much as 20 degrees warmer than they have been last couple of days. Marine layer will return tomorrow, but be gone by Thursday with the offshore winds, the northeast to southwest winds. Warmer each day. It looks like in most zones, as you'll see when we get to the 7-day, we'll peak out on Friday and Saturday, and that'll put some of the warmer valley communities just under 100 degrees, probably staying there with a little recovery down slightly on Sunday and returning to close to normal by the 1st of next week. Let's go to the 7-day forecast. Obviously, we're doing an abbreviated forecast tonight. You'll get all the information you need, but the breaking news is so important. Up in the mountains, high level here, 66 degrees. We build to 70 Thursday and Friday, 72 and 74 over the weekend. High desert, 78 tomorrow, 86 on Thursday, then 90 on Friday and Saturday, down a bit on Sunday. And we're looking at the valleys of the Inland Empire on top, 84 degrees. There will be minor marine layer clouds, but gone quickly in the morning. 90 on Thursday, 96 the hot days on Friday and Saturday. Then when we get to a week from today, we're back down into the mid-80s, just pretty close to normal. Valleys of Los Angeles and Ventura County, 84 for Wednesday, mid-morning clearing from the low marine layer clouds. Thursday, 88, 94 Friday, 92 and 90 over the weekend, down to 80 on Monday, big drop. The coast will go 80, 80 plus Thursday, Friday and Saturday. We do expect Thursday, Friday and Saturday have a big south swell, 3 to 6 foot south swell with a bad rip current. More on that tomorrow. Wednesday, 80 degrees downtown to the inland OC cities, 86 degrees on Thursday, 90 the hot days Friday and Saturday, then down slowly to at or slightly below normal by a week from tonight. Have a good night. Fred's got sports right now. Freddie?
Fritzer Dodgers have released their rotation for the NLDS, and there is a bit of a surprise.
This is the SoCal Honda Dealers Sports Desk with Fred Rogan.
Well, the wait is almost over for the Dodgers. Tomorrow night, they'll find out if they're either hosting Arizona or Colorado. Game 1 Friday night. Diamondbacks host the Rockies in a one-game playoff tomorrow at 5 p.m. And awaiting the winner of that one is Clayton Kershaw. While we know Kershaw arguably the best pitcher in baseball, we also know his postseason numbers continue to haunt him. 4-7 in the playoffs, an ERA of over 4. May pitch twice in a 5-game series, but no more than that, according to Dave Roberts. As for Game 2 on Saturday night, the Bishop, Rich Hill, will start. Yu Darvish will get the ball when the Dodgers hit the road for Game 3. In the American League, Yankees hosted the Twins in Game 1 of their playoff, or their one-game playoff. Twins hit 2 homers in the first. They grabbed a 3-0 lead. You think, well, that's that. No. Yankees bounced back in the bottom half. Didi Gregorius, a 3-run shot to tie it. Yankee Stadium went nuts. And in the fourth, all rise. The judge has delivered his verdict. Rookie Aaron Judge, a line drive 2-run shot to left. Yanks won it 8-4. They now have the honor of playing the Cleveland Indians.
This has been the SoCal Honda Dealers Sports Desk with Fred Rogan.
We're live in Las Vegas right now. We're outside the Mandalay Bay Hotel. Nearly half of the victims killed are from Southern California and many, many more injured. Tonight we spoke with Casey Napolitano, who told us about her childhood friend, 30-year-old Christina Kitcat from Calabasas, who was shot in the chest. Christina already had open heart surgery and will likely require more surgeries. They were celebrating her birthday when the shooting happened.
Someone had responded to us from her cell phone that she had been actually shot through the armpit, and it landed in her heart, and they were able to get the bullet out, and she's stable, she's breathing on her own. It's just a miracle how she survived this event. It's the last person you would think anything would happen to, because she kind of has this like fearless presence, and yeah, just a ray of sunshine I would describe her as, and she's always been that way.
So far, they have raised more than $54,000 for Christina through crowdfunding.
Back now to Chuck Henry in Las Vegas. A lot of new developments in this story tonight, Chuck.
That's right, Colleen. We've had the first look at the Las Vegas shooter's girlfriend tonight, arriving at LAX from Manila, an NBC4 exclusive. She's now being questioned by federal officials. We've seen many difficult images over the past few days here, as you've seen on this newscast, including a look at what officers were facing on that fateful night, Sunday night. Tomorrow morning, President Trump is set to land here in Las Vegas between 9 and 9:30. Reportedly, he'll visit one of the local hospitals here. He's also indicated he could spend the whole day here. We're live in Las Vegas. Back to you, Colleen.
All right, once again, Chuck Henry in Las Vegas for us tonight. Finally, this evening, we want to leave you with the names and the faces of the people from Southern California. They are mothers, they are fathers, they are sons and daughters who never made it home from what was supposed to be a weekend of fun.